Today, I want to talk about All About My Mother, directed by Pedro Almodovar. Winner of Best Foreign Film in 1999 at the Oscars, this is Almodovar's 13th feature and certainly one of his most memorable to date. To quote the director himself, "In desperate situations, people become generous. When you believe that your situation doesn't have a solution, you become more spontaneous. You get involved in the lives of others, or if you like, in the dangers of others." This is the driving force for the protagonist of the film, Manuela, played by Cecilia Roth. After witnessing the death of her son Esteban on the night of his 18th birthday, she sets out to fulfill a promise that she made to him, to let his dad know that he has a son. Leaving her life behind as a nurse in Madrid in search for Esteban's father in Barcelona, she encounters a litany of characters, both familiar and fresh. These include Agrado, a transgender prostitute played by Antonia San Juan, who Manuela rescues from a violent assault. While looking for work, she runs into Rosa, a nun whose life mission is to help the disenfranchised, played by Penelope Cruz. Little does Manuela know that Rosa is carrying the baby that also belongs to Esteban's father. After watching her in A Streetcar Named Desire, she runs into Uma, a theatrical diva played by Marisa Paredes. Uma has trouble managing her co-star Nina's drug addiction. Esteban desperately tried to get an autograph from Uma before being impaled by a car. The play A Streetcar Named Desire derails Manuela's life at multiple stages. Not only is the play in the background of Esteban's death, it's also where Manuela initially meets Lola, who ends up betraying her. It's an omen that repeatedly haunts Manuela, yet she still manages to fill in for the role of Stella when Nina goes on a particularly bad drug bender. It's a role that she was destined to play, whether she was aware of it or not. The characters have a solidarity with one another and help each other get through the nightmares of their existence. Manuela is the driving force for the interconnectedness between all of these characters from the grief that she carries within. Commenting on the film, Almodovar said, "In real life, chance can be within oneself, but in fiction it is imperative to bring together over the course of an hour and a half people who would normally take years to get together." Their mutual connection pays homage to the celebration of womanhood within the film All About Eve, which plays during a dinner scene between Esteban and Manuela. If you study much of Almodovar's filmography, his curiosity towards femininity is expressed through resilient characters that endure tragedy. When you accumulate a certain amount of anguish in your life, the only reasonable option is to escape. Manuela initially escaped infidelity in Barcelona to settle down as a nurse in Madrid. Once Esteban died, she escaped back to Barcelona to fulfill his fatherly request. While in Barcelona, her impulse is to retreat as if she has nothing to lose. Whether it's being denied a job to be a cook to Rosa's father or an assistant to Uma, she doesn't want to be a burden to others, which justifies her tactic to retreat. Nina and Rosa both want distance from their motherly figures. Nina wants space from Uma's clingy tendencies, which causes her to take heroin, and Rosa just feels like she isn't connected to her mother's bougie lifestyle. The sobering truth is repressed amongst these characters as a means for protecting feelings. Manuela withholds the past from her son, and Rosa doesn't tell her mom that she's been infected with HIV. Despite Almodovar's rejection of masculinity, he defends the role of a father as a vital part of the family. This is exemplified in the scene where Lola, Manuela, and Rosa's baby are all together in a cafe, and Lola decides to kiss the baby on the forehead. The root idea that Almodovar is trying to convey here is that every parent would like to see the child that they created, no matter how awful their track record is. Lola abandoned Agrado, Manuela, and Rosa to fend for themselves. Despite this inherent cruelty, Almodovar shows the last days of Lola's life in a way that's endearing. All of this frustration that Manuela had harbored for Lola is diffused once Manuela is confronted with the fact that Lola has only a few remaining moments on Earth. Almodovar is breaking apart the idea of family in a traditional sense. He demonstrates how motherhood can be both horrific and hopeful. It is not fixated to biology, it can be found in many forms regardless of gender or even blood lineage. Despite the fact that Manuela feels alone, she has found family within the sisterhood in Barcelona. Even though she has lost her son, Manuela gains a second chance by raising Rosa's child, who she names Esteban. Rosa urges Manuela not to hide anything from her child as a way of making up for the fact that she withheld the truth from her mom. Color is used to portray the moods of these characters. We see Manuela dressed in black to signal the grief that she has for her son. However, as the film progresses, we see red start to appear both in the background as well as in Manuela's fashion sense. The red signifies the bold approach that Manuela adopts while navigating around Barcelona. Performances were the key driver for Almodovar to convey these Baroque characters as relatable humans that the viewer can identify with. The shining example of this is how Agrada transcended her brutal trauma, being a trans sex worker who survived deadly encounters with strangers. There's a scene where she goes into a theater full of patrons and shares her life story and doesn't hold back one bit. Her presence breaks the tension of the drama and is a vital component to the charm that engineers this film. Almodovar is able to transform an extreme world into a palatable feeling that you can identify with as a viewer. Organ donation is another example of the interconnectedness nature of the film. Manuela signs off on the donation of a liver for someone in need, but in her personal life she signs off on the donation of her son's heart. It connects Manuela's job with the tragedy her son faced, as well as showing how much he meant to her simply by how she followed the man who ended up with Esteban's heart. The anguish that we feel with Esteban's death in the beginning is then alleviated when Manuela is able to mother a child who wards off the HIV infection that unfortunately killed his parents. This is an essential viewing if you want to understand how films can illustrate the personal feelings that constitutes one's soul. And that about wraps it up for me. So thank you if you made it this far for watching. Please share, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and I wish you guys nothing but the best. Later.